Alrighty, welcome everybody to the Gaming Lounge. We got Kai here, Culture Casino, MandoMerc, and Macany90.
Hey everyone.
Let's see who's in the chat. We got Kashi Queen is here. Thanks for being here. Fats Goal.
Steven.
Time Prophet.
Hail.
Apollo Patriot.
Hail Blue Twilight.
His Blue Twilight women that he loves so much.
We got the Atlantean.
For some reason, he's not.
Yeah, we do. Why is he not in the thing? There he is. Hey, Atlantean. We got the Time Prophet. And I believe that is everybody.
That's it right here.
How y'all doing today?
Yeah. I'm doing good. How's everybody else?
I'm
so Kai,
Yeah.
you want to talk about this stuff going on with Blizzard and their ex-employees?
Yeah, I'm looking for that right now.
It seems more and more people are leaving Blizzard.
I had it pulled up.
Yeah.
Where'd it go? I think I lost a whole window full of tabs. That sucks.
Okay, I'll look for it. Hang on.
I'll get
We
it.
had one job.
I hate when that happens.
Frost Giant, that's what it's called. All right.
There you go.
Yes,
All right, Frost Giant Studios. Oh man, this isn't the article I had pulled up though. Son of a bitch.
Well, why don't we just talk about what?
Well, let me.
While you look for it.
Oh, if you want, I can read it. I have an article up here.
All right,
Okay.
See what you got.
All right, so this was the thing that was happening this week. This is I'm reading this from Games Radar. Blizzard veterans launch Frost Giant Studios to create a new RTS title. Former Blizzard developers Tim Campbell and Tim Morton have teamed up to create the next big real-time strategy game at the new company Frost Giant Studios. The new studio, which is headed by Campbell and Morton, has managed to raise $4.7 million for the first project with help from organizations such as Bitcraft Ventures and Riot Games of League of Legends and of Valorant fame. Campbell, who was the original lead campaign designer for Warcraft 3, The Frozen Throne, and Morton, who was the production director on StarCraft 2, Legacy of the Void, which were both interviewed by GameSpeed and explained the process of launching a new studio as well as their goal of wanting to create the next RTS PC game, Morton said. In order to bring up another sorry about that. In order to build another brand new RTS, it felt like the opportunity to do it externally was too good to pass up. A new YouTube video from Frost Giant Studios introduces the new team of developers who will be working on the new RTS project. Campbell, now president, game director of Frost Giant, said, Frost Giant is the first opportunity to get back into the roots of the type of game that I love playing. Morton, now director, said, I came to Frost Giant to build the next great RTS, and since RTS is the genre I really love the most. This was an opportunity to make something new in such a rare opportunity in game development, and I'm super excited to have this chance. According to Frost Giant's official website, their goal is to carry forward the legacy of RTS games and hoping they can revitalize the genre, and you can be sure that we'll keep an eye on it for their latest efforts. It's interesting because what we just heard this week, I think it was yesterday, that Blizzard is stopping on updates for StarCraft 2. And StarCraft 2 has been out for a very, very long time.
Mm-hmm.
On top of that, their esports scene is still going on strong. But anyway. But yeah. It's interesting endeavor, especially since RTS games are very... it's become very niche nowadays.
Yeah, it has. And the thing that's... So I've known for a while that Blizzard is not looking for RTS games, and they were eventually going to, do this to StarCraft 2, like they did to Storm. But, pardon me. Both games have a very strong, dedicated fan base that's going to keep playing the game. But I think it's a shame that Blizzard isn't... because they innovated genres. They create, like, RTSs weren't a thing until Blizzard made them a thing, and then they were huge. And it's sad that they're not, championing a genre that they brought to the table with such force. Instead of going, they're going, oh well, looks like the market doesn't really want RTSs. Instead of going, let's make some dope shit and that everyone's gonna want. Instead of doing that, they're just looking at the market and being, that's not popular. That's one of the reasons that what's it called got canceled? Freaking Titan, because like that
Project Titan that ended up becoming Overwatch.
No.
Okay, that's not what it is.
I'm talking about is that the right word?
It was.
Is that the right code name for the one that got canceled recently?
Yeah, I think it was Project Titan that. For StarCraft.
Yeah, the StarCraft one.
Let me check.
I think that's the wrong shit.
I think.
Anyway,
the
Overwatch. The StarCraft title that got leaked.
Yeah, Project Titan was for Overwatch.
Yeah, okay. Then I'm using the wrong one. I don't remember what they were calling the other one. But anyways, it's because that Battlefield flopped, and so Battlefield didn't do very well, and that genre is not really thriving right now. So, but instead of just making something awesome, no matter what the genre is, they're instead responding to what seems to be the thing, and which is sad.
Yeah.
It's been an ongoing thing, and this is something we've been seeing with Blizzard, and they're slowly losing their soul to Activision. They're
slowly losing it. They've already lost it.
They've already lost it. Yeah,
it's kind of like a mind behind the body. Like they're not aware of it yet, but it's already happened.
Well, considering last week that they shut down, I think it was Blizzard's. I think it was their French. It's not French studios. French customer service. I can't remember what it was. I have to check back on that. But that was shut down not too long ago.
Ares. And that was it. It was Ares.
Right.
Ares was the code name for the StarCraft game that was that got shuttered, and that game was doing great too.
Yeah, it was Blizzard's French office that was Activision shut down, and workers actually had to call for a strike.
France? I don't know nothing about France. I was going to say that I think people put a little too much stock into Activision and their influence on Blizzard. Blizzard's gone through a lot of growth and a lot of changes over this decade or these last 2 decades, and recently they've transitioned a lot of leadership, and so that leads to a lot of not only mistakes but also just changes in the way things are done. And I think that might be a little more to blame than Activision, because they were, up through a few years ago, they were still doing great. And everyone, pretty unanimously loved them. There wasn't any political issues. Yeah. There wasn't any nonsense. So I think people just put too much stock into Activision and its influence.
Yeah. Also, I'm just going to mention, we shouldn't be surprised that they're trying to they're trying to chase trends when it comes to the market, because these are the same guys that are making the next Diablo game is going to be on your phone.
Yeah, and it's something to keep in mind that, former, not too long ago, former Blizzard CEO Mike Morhaime, he's completely started his own studio. And we're seeing more and more of ex-Blizzard employees kind of branching off to do their own thing. So,
what's the name of this new studio again? White something?
Let me check.
Frost Giant, I thought, right?
Frost Giant, yeah.
Morheime's is Dreamhaven. And then there's going to be a bunch of, I think there's going to be a bunch of little studios under that umbrella as well. So,
honestly, I think it's a great thing when ex-Blizzard employees make a new studio, or when they leave to make a new studio. Look at is his name Ben Brode? The guy that was on Hearthstone. I think that was his name. That guy, he left to create a card game with some other people, other Blizzard employees and other game developers. And League of Legends was created by there was ex Blizzard employees there. Anywhere that
really?
you go where ex Blizzard employees create a studio, they try to create that same positive environment that you have at Blizzard, and that's, I think, a fantastic thing for the industry, because that's less studios that are going Naughty Dog style, making people take showers in the restroom. You know what I mean?
But something to keep in mind is that with Frost Giant, as I mentioned in the article, they got 4.7 million in backing, and some of that is from Riot Games. And now we all know that Riot Games is 100% owned by Tencent. It may not have an effect on it, it may not, but it's definitely something to keep in mind.
Well, but it's also started and it's still operated by the original people who established the company, right? So, and they're going to be supportive of anyone who's trying to do the same thing that they did. So it's I see that as camaraderie.
Right.
If it turns out to be something different, then something different. But
it is nice to see devs start their own new studio, because now it's like
absolutely
it's like a world of new, literally
possibilities and new opportunities. Basically,
like opportunity is literally like everywhere. So like you can get new stuff. Take what's face X CD Projekt Red devs, as well as I'm blanking on what else, but new studio called Starworks, I think, or Star Wars. I did a story on it a few weeks back, but essentially they're making a game based on a book called The Invincible, and it's like a sci-fi retro future type game, and it looks and sounds really cool. So it's I do like seeing new development studios, especially since we've been paying a lot of studios, especially older ones, that were known for good content and still were delivering to a degree, being closed down by the big names of publishing like EA and Bethesda.
Agreed.
I know some fans that like specific developers will follow them too away from Blizzard,
right,
as well. So
now,
check this out. I want to show. I love this here.
I think the
core values of Frost Giant. Real-time strategy.
Yeah.
That's freaking great.
Culture.
Nice.
If you're still here, I mean, do you have any experience with RTS games like Red Alert, like Command and Conquer, or even StarCraft?
Why, yes, I do. I used to play very competitively against all the little Koreans that used to swat me handedly on a regular basis. I loved StarCraft. My stepdad and I would play for hours, play against each other. I built LAN systems so that all of the old people could play together, back in the day. And then of course we got to the point where we could start playing online against competition, and I loved it. StarCraft 2. Red Alert, of course, Command and Conquer.
Oh yeah, Red Alert.
I played a ton of RTS games. I loved them. I always felt like they were really really good at challenging you for adapting to the moment or to another person's play style. So to me, it was a more advanced game of chess. I really enjoyed it. And the fact that the Blizzard's looking at abandoning, their most popular one, it blows my mind. After releasing, content update just a few years ago, it doesn't make sense.
They've been supporting the game for over 10 years.
Another thing I want to throw out there to add on to what Culture's talking about there. For me personally, without StarCraft Brood War, without StarCraft and Brood War, my early teen years, my first couple of years of high school would have been really difficult because there wasn't enough food in the house.
Right.
There was like almost no food, and I would go hungry once I got home from school. There's nothing for me to eat. So instead of sitting there and being hungry until my dad comes home, I would play StarCraft for like 6 hours a day, and it was intense. It was so intense that like between matches, my stomach would be like, "Hey, I'm hungry." I'm like, "Shut up! I'm not going down like that." And I play another game, or I'm like, "I just won 2 in a row." No, let's keep it going. But it's the only games that's that intense that you could lose yourself, that you could forget that you're hungry playing.
Yeah. Yeah. My buddy Luis, that kind of that you mirror his life. It sounds like, but he would whoop my butt in Warcraft regularly. So. Battle Chest. Remember when Battle Chest came out and you could play all of the games? Wasn't that awesome?
Yeah, I had it bootleg because I was, I didn't have food, so obviously I wasn't buying video games.
No, I understand, bro. That's up. Yeah, I wasn't trying to bring out confessions of my life from you, bro. Yeah. Look, the important, like I said, the important thing is that it developed a lot of critical reaction. It's not really critical thinking, although there is some involved. You had to, because you had to figure out how to divvy up your resources and what the best use of resources was against the play style of the other player. Because you would get zerged your face off. If you, I mean, you could go down in a swarm really fast. In StarCraft, but and I liked the idea that you had to get to a certain level before you got the Protoss. And I liked the concept that all of those games introduced, but the audio reactions will stick with you forever. Who will ever forget Zug Zug? It was so important that they actually, work. They actually included it in the Vanilla WoW. When Vanilla WoW first released way back in the day, you still kept a couple of those sounds around on purpose. It's just valuable. And the Death Knight sound originally, the original Death Knight sound when those launched as an expansion in the game into World of Warcraft, they kept the spawning horse sound that you had from the Death Knight. I mean, it's just you did all of those callbacks. Those are really cool and unique. So anyway, that's the Wayback Machine. So
they wouldn't have
to answer your question, yes, I did play those games. Sorry, what now?
The funny thing is they wouldn't have their biggest cash cow, World of Warcraft, if it wasn't for RTSs. So why would you abandon the thing that created?
It's something.
Why you're successful.
And something to never forget, it was that the openness and creativity of custom games from the early Warcraft titles that gave birth to a whole new genre, as we saw with Dota and League of Legends.
Yeah. And I mean, think about it. I still sit back and play all the way back to Civilization 3. I will play. I think I've got 4,100 hours just on my Steam version of Civilization 4. That's a long time, guys.
Oh yeah,
4,100 hours. I just those kinds of games. If I need to have a long-term distraction, if I'm trying to work through a problem or whatever, I'll sit down and play some form of an RTS, and it'll get me there. I mean, to a certain extent, probably one of the really cool advances was not necessarily a RTS, but a similar style game like Spore, where you had a variation of a simulation that included some computer strategy. I know that seems weird, Kyle.
No, I'm laughing at Spore because Spore shot itself in the foot.
That was
extra measures to make it uncrackable. This game is going to be impossible to crack, and so you have to get the cracked version. Then did it, and then oh my god, it was instantly cracked, and people pirated it just to pirate it. Didn't even want to play the game. They just pirated it as a middle finger. Love it. Anytime anyone brings up Spore, I remember all of that.
But it's something that you look back and you think about now is that RTSs are becoming such a niche genre with still having such a dedicated following. You look at StarCraft 2 and the fact that Blizzard has been supporting that game for over a decade.
For good reason. I mean, they haven't replaced it with anything, other than the expansions. And I don't know why they would. I mean, Mando, I haven't heard Mando say a whole lot.
That's because I have my ulcers are flaring up again, so I'm trying not to speak unless I need to.
Oh,
Right.
okay. Well, I'm gonna go into silent mode, and then when we get back past your thoughts, I know we need to move on, but I'll slide into the back.
Yeah, so I'll be brief.
Okay.
So yeah, RTS. I've played a few RTS, but RTS was never really my kind of genre. Not saying I don't like it. The few I have played, I really do enjoy. But I just, I wasn't in the same boat, but I was in a similar boat where I couldn't afford to get every video game I ever wanted. I had to really pick and choose what games I wanted to get growing up. So I couldn't exactly play a lot of the RTS games, even though I played them at friend's house, or I got a free one maybe like 20 years later.
Sure.
I only got to play it on my PC, stuff like that. So it is nice to see developers strike out on their own and start a business, because this is essentially how we start getting good games. Is developers start at their own studio, and then because they are the ones making the game, they're the ones running their own show. Like, they're in charge, they're their own bosses, and they're the ones. They want to make this good content, and they don't have anyone looking over their shoulders telling them what to do. Just take us, for example.
Yeah, and actually, that's studios starting up and just doing their thing. Look at Supercell. Like, Clash of Clans is an RTS, and it does great. And Clash Royale is a tower defense. It's a PvP tower defense, which is a genre, which is one of the few user-created game genres which spawned from StarCraft and the map editor. And that whole company is super successful, and its two biggest games are based on our Blizzard, things that we got from Blizzard, essentially.
Agreed.
We're seeing, and like I said, I mean, that's the rise of the independent studios has been going on for a while, courtesy of platforms like Steam, and others. But you're able to get a small game like that out into the world, and people are able to try that out and explore it, and it doesn't cost them a lot of money, but the developer makes plenty of funds, and it allows them to move on to the next game to create something even more special. And I always fund a lot of these early access games. Like, I'll fund, like, I was one of the first people to be on Goddess. And a couple of these other, weird Dawn of Man and stuff like that. And so, but I think Kai's right. I think that's the only way we're going to get good stuff is in the future. And I feel like we interrupted Mando. So did we?
Oh, no, I cut you off. I'm sorry. But
you're good, brother.
Take Among Us, for example. That was made by 3 guys. That was independent.
I believe that.
Yeah, and it's brilliant. I mean, think of Mando. How much is that on the platform now? It's like $10 a whack.
It is. It's $10. I think $5 on the platform. It is free on mobile, but the mobile version's not good, though. I've heard.
Okay. Yeah, and so
I haven't tried mobile.
Yeah, but Kai, I mean, that game. Think about that game. That game went bananas, right? I mean, think about how many people we know that are playing it.
It's also like a few years old now. It's not new.
Yeah,
it's the same thing like Fall Guys. It became a breakaway trend. It became.
They've been playing it for months at Blizzard, but what's it called? I think when the pandemic hit, so the lockdown creates unique circumstances that allowed certain kinds of apps and things to flourish where they would have gone unnoticed before. Like House Party, and Zoom, and Among Us. It went largely unnoticed until people were looking for some social interaction because of the lack of it, and that's the perfect game for it.
Well, maybe in the future they'll score some social credits for these social interaction games.
Let's not bring up the social credit thing, because I think I might want. I don't know if Kai, if you want that to be the next topic, or if you want to go to the
social credits.
No. So,
2K?
okay. No, not 2K. This is from Sony.
Oh. Oh.
And listen, I'm just going to say this right now. This is personally for me. If you guys want to get a PS5, especially at launch, go ahead. Me personally, this is just another thing. This is just another thing I can't. That's kind of turned me away from Sony. And so the thing that not hardly anybody's talking about, only a few people are talking about, is PS5's terms of service for Hong Kong, specifically. This is I'm going to read this from Tech Raptor. Essentially, users cannot damage China's honor and interest. Hong Kong PlayStation users are being asked to accept new terms of service after a recent update. The terms are the same as those that mainland China users must accept and include provisos and caveats designed to protect Chinese interests. The new terms of service instruct PlayStation Network users to not oppose the basic principles espoused by the Chinese Constitution. Other items include not filing the PRC, policies on social stability, sovereignty, unification among China, among other things. These are terms that mainland Chinese users have to accept for some time now, but Hong Kong users have been traditionally exempt due to the EULA and such. But the Chinese government is cracking down on services that use to treat Hong Kong as a separate entity. This is nothing new in regulations. All companies have to do business in China to accept those terms. We see that with, of course, Disney and such. We've seen that all this whole lockdown. And, it must play to Beijing's rule if they want to continue to operate in that country. However, the fact that Hong Kong residents must now accept these terms is new and implies that Beijing is extending all of its demands on non-Chinese businesses and Chinese businesses for that matter to Hong Kong as well. It's not going to in short, it's probably not going to matter much in the West, but there's no reason to suspect that Sony will be changing its approach to China or the CCP in the rest of the world. Recently, developer BeHoYo's open world RPG Genshin Impact has censored terms like China and Taiwan and Hong Kong in its chats, and the censorship extended to the Western version of the game as well. However, MiHoYo is a Chinese company and can choose to apply those kind of guidelines wherever they please. But yeah, we'll bring you more on the situation, on the PlayStation situation for Hong Kong gamers as we get it. Yeah, this is... Sorry about that. But yeah, this is... to me... Personally, this just adds a lot. This just piles on like multiple reasons why I'm very reluctant to support Sony in the next console generation, especially what we've been dealing with, for the past year or so in this generation. And I know this goes into culture. I know this for culture. This goes right into, because you've been talking about it too. But yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, all I'm going to add is this. This is why I'm not buying a PS5. The only platform that I was super hyped about was the PS5, and I didn't get past the bots to get my pre-order in for it. I'm kind of glad I didn't, because I'd heard a couple of things recently that I'm waiting for more information on. So, before I throw it out there in the world, maybe on the next gaming lounge. But I have I'm now even more excited that I didn't spend a bunch of money on it. I hate to say that, because it's a better console overall than the Xbox, but I may have to go Xbox when I do go console. But for right now, guys, with the computer that I have coming, I won't need a console for a long time.
Right, so. and this just adds to another we were just talking about it, Makini. We were talking about the voice chat recording, just the level of intrusion that they're doing. They're feeding right into China. What's really strange is the fast about face that they made here, because going back into May of this year, they had cut off the sales on the PlayStation Store to China, mainland China. And now they flip-flopped on this. Is it because they
They know that their opinion is starting to cause trouble in the primary market here in the United States, and so they're going to lean into China more. Don't know, but like I said, I mean, the very moment you start to go in full nanny state, I mean, well, and then we get recent news, in the last few days that Google's bringing over sensors, and Facebook is bringing over sensors from China to help them improve, censorship, especially on Facebook.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, yeah, I'm starting to have some serious problems with big tech, and I never thought that I would. I was thinking, you know what, we're going to do good. But the problem is that you get a little bit of power, and this is why antitrust is so important. Antitrust is so important. Anti-monopoly.
What was it? Section 33, if I'm correct. 230.
Well, 230 is how those platforms operate. Like the very platform we're on now is under Section 230. And as long as they don't act as a publisher and editorial, and have editorial control, exercise editorial control, or there's other terminology that goes along with that, and they're then they can have the protections of 230. However, if they act like an editorial source or provide curated content or things like that, and I'm saying non-elective curated content, right? Because elective curated content's different. Like, I only want to read murder mysteries, so send me lists of books of murder mysteries, right? But if you're only going to show them an approved list that you've approved, that's not a proper curated list. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the moment that you exercise an editorial level of control, and that's not allowed under Section 230. So if the antitrust suit that moves forward doesn't dip into that, I'm pretty sure that the House Judicial Committee is already on the case. So, and the lawsuit that's in place right now with 11 states for antitrust is also in place, but that's neither here nor there. So, but when we circle back to big tech and we start to talk about video games, which is where we are, we are in a position now where these companies are going to start being scrutinized by the government. Now, on the other hand, there might be folks that aren't, interested in scrutinizing these companies because they're operating in their favor. Regardless, I'm one of those people that don't believe in a whole lot of regulation. Unfortunately, we don't have the set of laws right now that govern the Wild West that we're in. We need to keep the Wild West of the internet as free as possible, but at the same time, there's a handful of things we absolutely cannot allow to happen. So, monopolistic practices is one of them.
Yeah, and this is a kind of a thing to add. I wanted to add on this with the PS5, since we're talking about that. This is from Niche Gamer. Sony will optimize the PS5's fans through post-launch updates. Sony Interactive Entertainment has announced the plans to optimize the PS5's internal components post-launch via online updates, a move further to reaffirming the gap between traditional PC hardware and specialized gaming consoles has basically disappeared. While PC hardware regularly gets firmware updates from their manufacturers, Sony has confirmed via the 4Gaming.net that they will update their PS5's internal fan with online updates. Yoshihiro Otori, VP of Mechanical Design at Sony, gave a thorough breakdown of the internal components and how they all perform. Various games in the future will be released in the future, and data on APU's behavior will be collected for each game, Otori said. We have to plan and optimize in the fan control based on this data. Sony recently showed a breakdown of the PS5's internal components, including the massive 120mm wide, 45mm thick double-sided air intake fan, the PS5's temperature sensor inside its APU, as well 3 temperature sensors on its main board to control the fan speed. Controlling the internal fan speeds has been something that PC builders and gamers have been able to control and manipulate with different setting profiles, something that Sony and Sony alone will control with the PS5 and future updates. And the PS5 will launch on November 12th for US, Japan, China, Mexico, Australia, New Zealand, and South Korea. For the rest of the world, it will launch on November 19th. So that's something I wanted to add on. because I was watching. I was reading the comments, and Time Prophet and Mando were talking about the PS2, PS3 emulators and such. So.
Sorry, I'm working on inviting Atlantean.
I'm muting myself because I'm working on my Halloween costume and I'm cutting up foam and I think it makes a lot of noise, so I don't want to.
But but back to what culture. What you're saying is that this next generation is definitely it's not looking promising in my eyes. It just does not look that promising.
At least we've got the Switch. Thanks, Nintendo.
Yeah, we got some Nintendo and such, and then of course, PC Master Race.
PC Master Race here too, but I've got my Switch. That's the only console I give a shit about.
It's just with everything that's been going on with Sony specifically, my trust and faith in them has dwindled down at almost an alarming pace.
Welcome to the club, man. Finally.
Yeah.
I feel like I finally got other people that dislike Sony as much as I do. Like, oh hey,
it's just sweet. It's the censorship and just the blatant double standards have definitely lost. I've lost a lot of respect for Sony for that. But
right now would be a really good time for Liberty. Right now would be a really good time for a Liberty quote, Brian.
Welcome to the party, Atlantean. We missed you.
All right, Kai. Let's go ahead and let's head to one of the main courses right here.
Sure, do it.
The Zenimax lawsuit.
Oh yeah,
I feel like I should mention this.
Ooh.
Okay. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Mando.
The Prophet thinks that you are cutting up corpses right now.
Okay, so we got multiple articles. I'm just gonna pick one. Let's go for. Okay. All right. So this is from whatever. Okay, so this is from GameIndustry.biz. Zenimax, Bethesda, Roundhouse are all added to the lawsuit over Rune 2. Ragnarok accuses companies involved in Human Head demise and Roundhouse formation sabotaging Rune 2 in a game based on the Oblivion Song comic series. Rune 2 publisher Ragnarok has added Zenimax Media, Bethesda, and Roundhouse Studios in their lawsuit against former Human Head Studios employees, accusing them of intentionally sabotaging a pair of games since they have contracted Human Head to develop. The suit was originally filed last year against Human Head and 3 of its co-founders for fraud and breach of contract after the studio shut down only a day after the launch of Rune 2, a game that developed for Ragnarok. The studio reformed within days as Roundhouse under Bethesda's own studios, comprised of all the Human Head developers. Ragnarok expanded their suit yesterday to include Zenimax and Bethesda, saying that it had conspired with Human Head starting late last summer. The suit does not name Zenimax parent Microsoft, which only acquired Bethesda and Zenimax just last month. In an act of utter bad faith and contractual breach of confidentiality requirements, Human Head secretly provided Bethesda and Zenimax with keys that permitted it to play a confidential pre-release version of Rune 2. This enabled Bethesda and Zenimax to see for themselves the threat that Rune 2 had posed to their hit franchise, Skyrim and Elder Scrolls. Ragnarok said that former Zenimax formed Roundhouse subsidiary only 2 weeks before Rune 2's launch and quietly acquired the studio's equipment and took over its leases. The suit notes that the equipment would have contained Ragnarok's own trade secrets, specifically source code and materials for 2 games it had contracted Human Head to make, both Rune 2 and Oblivion Song, a game based on the comic series written by Walking Dead creator Mark Kirkman. The suit accuses the defendants of maliciously holding the Rune 2 source code hostage for months, preventing Ragnarok from working on the game and supporting it after launch. While the suit acknowledges Ragnarok received the source code early this year, The assets that ultimately were transferred were incomplete and unusable. Indeed, it appears that the defendants, with a malicious intent to deliberately organize the assets in a way to ensure that they were indecomparable and unusable as possible, as they say. It goes on to allege that Zenimax ordered the new Roundhouse employees to stop working on those two games and to ensure maximum damage to Rune 2 and to protect a Skyrim franchise, said Rune 2 lead developer Christopher Reinhardt on a business trip to ensure that he would be unavailable for Rune 2's launch. Zenimax Bethesda knowingly and intentionally caused Human Head to breach of its obligations with respect to Oblivion Song and Rune 2, and at the active instructions of Zenimax, Human Head time unveiling of its plan to cause maximum damage. And this is Ragnarok alleges in the suit. While Rune 2 is live and Ragnarok has formed a new studio to continue on work with the game, the publisher said that Oblivion Song is such a state of despair that it has to be abandoned. Ragnarok is seeking damages for no less than $100 million. So far, we have not heard from anything from Bethesda's side of this suit as a representative to find a comment. So
that is dirty.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's very suspicious, especially considering the fact that Human Head, I think it was the studio for Rune 2, they shut down their studios a day after Rune 2's launch.
And then to immediately, what's it called? Zenimax or Bethesda, they set up that new studio and
Roundhouse.
All of their stuff. Yeah, they set up Roundhouse as a new studio.
Mm-hmm.
They purchased all the stuff from Human Head. They brought in all the personnel. Like, why don't you just put up a neon sign? Like, yo, we're playing real dirty here. Like, damn, bro. There's no there's no talking your way out of this one. I think it's pretty caught red-handed kind of a situation. Like, that's rough, man.
It sounds very suspicious.
More than they're asking for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is there's a lot of shenanigans behind the scenes of this game, and it probably explains why games like Rune 2 and Oblivion Song, the two games that they commissioned to do, were in such bad states, especially considering that Rune 2 was supposed to be their answer to Skyrim. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
That reminds me of
I would have quit if I
THQ when they went under.
Well, would you say with THQ would it be the same situation though?
I don't know if it's the same situation because I don't know any of the details, but Nordic literally bought like all their properties except like a few things, and then they just turned it into THQ Nordic.
Mm-hmm.
It's because THQ was going down. That was a while ago, if I remember right.
Yeah. But they literally went under, and then Nordic was its own thing, and then then they bought all the THQ's IPs, and then turned themselves into THQ Nordic because that's literally what they were. Because they were basically THQ 2.0. I don't know if it's the same situation, but yeah. I don't know. I know if Atlantean just showed up at the probably near the end of this. Hey, Atlantean. But because I want to hear from you guys in culture. I know, considering that this whole lawsuit is involving Bethesda. What does it say, or what does it say about Bethesda and say about Zenimax and such, and with does it have kind of impact on how you see Bethesda moving forward since they're bought by Microsoft? I mean, I'm wondering. I would like to hear from you guys.
I think they should clean house after this lawsuit passes. Like, Microsoft's probably going to go in there with an axe, because now this reflects on them as well. How's it going, Ords? Like, they wouldn't want to shenanigans going on. You know.
What's up, everybody?
Hey, Ords. So,
Welcome, Ords.
Go on, man.
Culture, Atlantean, Ords. I don't know if you guys have. I know Culture has a long history with Bethesda. Such. I don't know about Atlantean and Ords, but what do you guys think about this whole lawsuit that's going on, and this probably a sabotage, especially since Bethesda and Zenimax are involved in it?
I don't know, man. I mean, obviously, if you're contracted to do something, you need to do it to the best of your ability.
Right.
I don't know, man. Like, let them eat themselves, I guess, man. You know, let them be swallowed up and let independent companies come up and do their thing, man. I don't care. they all have enough money to handle the situation. They all, I mean, they'll be fine. And if not, then they'll be swallowed up, and new companies will come up. I mean, I guess that's just how I look at it, man.
Yeah, and they're seeking only Ragnarok is seeking no less than 100 million in damages, pretty much.
Okay, no less than. Okay, good.
Yeah,
good.
no less than 100 million.
That's the minimum.
Well, they are quite deserving of it. I mean, again, I mean, this is one of those situations where, you know, if a project isn't going well and you know it all along, you need to figure out a way to get on the exit ramp. You know, if you can't deliver it, you need to get off. You know what I mean? Because you can't continue to weave a story, like a basket, and then deliver something that's undercooked. You know, I mean, there's been too many, and especially, if I mean, I don't know. I mean, Atlantean's really good at breaking this stuff down, so I'm going to let him go.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't really know enough about what's going on to even attempt to break it down. That one article he read, I was zoning out because I have no idea what the hell's going on. So, I'm sorry that I really don't know. This is one thing I haven't heard anything about. Break it down for me draw it in crayon for me.
Essentially, just so
two
I get the basics. So essentially, this is over a game called Rune 2. And it was supposed to be kind of like a Ragnarok's kind of answer to Bethesda's Skyrim. When the game was launched, the studio that created the game, Human Head, they closed a day after the game's launch. And then what we heard was, and then soon after that, the former heads of Human Head, the former developers and workers of Human Head, they joined a new studio, Roundhouse, under Bethesda's umbrella.
Get me off of that full screen.
And they purchased all of the equipment and everything from the previous studio.
Okay,
and they brought over all the personnel.
So the reason the suit is going on is because Ragnarok is suspecting that because that studio was formed 2 weeks before the launch of Rune 2, that they potentially sabotaged it.
That's what they think.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's what this suit is about, because they're bringing Zenimax and Bethesda in, but they're not bringing Microsoft in, though.
Yeah, because Microsoft wasn't responsible for that. They're still going to pay for it, though.
Okay, so let me
just bought Zenimax last month.
Yes, and Microsoft is going to effectively be a parent company for Bethesda and Zenimax, but they still are their own thing. It's a bit like,
yeah.
Okay, so you said Human Head?
Human Head was the former developers that shut down.
All right, give me a second. I need to look these people up. I have no idea who the hell Human Head is. Who the fuck is Human Head?
So Human Head. Rune 2,
hold on.
I don't know if you guys are familiar with Rune 2 and Oblivion.
I've never even heard of Rune 1, to be honest with you. So. All right, hold on a second. Rune, Prey. I've heard of Prey. Okay. Yeah, none of these I've ever actually heard of. Prey. Okay, Rune 2. Okay, so Human Head. What was Rune? What the hell was Rune? Rune is an action adventure. Yeah, I've never heard of Rune. It's very
okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, Human Head. There's a lawsuit going on because Ragnarok is suing the people that took Human Head and... Okay, let me say this. Human Head went under shortly after...
a day after the game's release. And they immediately got signed. They immediately got picked up by Bethesda under a different studio, under a new studio called Roundhouse. But the thing is, Roundhouse was formed 2 weeks before the game's launch.
Yeah, they set it up.
Might be some internal. Yeah, so what it sounds like is there's some internal sabotage.
I don't know. Maybe not sabotage, but I definitely think that maybe Bethesda liked what some of these people were talking about, or maybe they did have somebody on the inside. I mean, I don't know if it necessarily sabotage, but if they were maybe setting up to do something better than what.
Okay, wait a second.
Well, they were withholding important stuff such as like the game's source code.
Oh.
Yeah, so that they were unable to actually support the game once it was out.
Okay, I know why they're going after Human Head, because Human Head was a subsidiary of Bethesda. They were actually connected.
Mm-hmm.
That I just looked this up. That's why I don't know why they filed for bankruptcy, but Human Head was a part of Bethesda. Okay, so Human Head pretty much went under. They went back to Bethesda and Zenimax, and now Ragnarok is doing something with Rune 2.
Because that was a game that they commissioned. Because Ragnarok, Rune 2, and Oblivion Song were the two games that they commissioned Human Head Studios to do.
Who's they?
Ragnarok.
Ragnarok is a publisher.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The first Rune came out in 2000.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel stupid because I really don't know what the hell's going on enough to have much of an opinion, but from the little bit that I don't know, or from the little bit that I've picked up, I'm not gonna go out and say it's sabotage. I think Ragnarok is probably just being paranoid. But
could be.
At the same time, okay, yeah, Ragnarok has added Bethesda and ZeniMax to the lawsuit.
Hey, Gilgman.
Okay. So, lawsuit over Rune 2. I really wish I had fucking heard about this.
Well, for me, it's like, when you're playing Among Us and someone's like, no, I'm not the killer. I was in medical and then I vented to electrical and there was a body there.
Yeah, I vented. That's a dead giveaway.
It's Time Prophet. If you highlight his comment, it's like I rarely play game. I just play games. I hardly ever think about the studios that made them.
I'm looking down at my computer. I'm hunched over. That's why I'm looking a little below camera. And the camera doesn't move. I don't want.
I will say that.
No, I said you were low as far as your volume.
I would say up until probably the past couple of years, I would say I would probably have that same kind of mindset, Time Prophet, where I didn't really pay too much attention on the studios making behind them. But when I think about nowadays, is that I look at just like certain studios and certain publishers I tend to stay away from, and I know you guys probably feel the same way too.
Yeah, I like Sony. I've stayed away from Sony for a long time.
The list is too long to go into.
The list is too long.
Human Head secretly provided Bethesda and ZeniMax with keys that permitted them to play a confidential version of Rune 2. Yeah, I don't know enough about this to have much of an opinion, but that's where I stand.
You don't need to know things to have an opinion. Just
but it helps if I want to know what I'm talking about. I'm not
leave him alone.
Yeah. I'm not going to be the kind of person that uses the word photosynthesis wrong just to sound intelligent, okay?
Right. Of course.
You see, when they're making the games, there's a process called photosynthesis when they make these games, right?
Photosynthesis.
That's photosynthesis. And I think they use the photosynthesis with a car engine. Hook it up to an electric fence.
Internal combustion process along with the photosynthesis creates a polymer plastic that you then encase inside. Yeah, see, I'm just too smart.
Internal combustion photosynthesis is what they call it. It's for electric plants.
That's right. Beautiful.
Yeah, I think I think it's best to say that we'll definitely keep it close. I'm gonna keep a close eye on this.
I'm gonna forget about it, honestly.
The real secret behind in the internal combustion plants is that they run on hydrogen. So.
Well, there you go.
But we're gonna break. But this is something I think. But the next topic I want to bring up, the next article I'm bringing up.
Well, here, real quick. I just kind of want to end on this, I guess, with this subject. Like I said before, man, let these companies eat themselves. Maybe this will force companies to try harder, to actually complete games, appropriately, and not put out half-baked ideas that are half completed and then just fix it with an update. Let them eat each other, man. You know what?
You know what? The next thing funny you bring that Ords up, because the next article I'm bringing up is something similar to that, and I think it's something that me and culture definitely has something to say about. I know Mando, Kai, everybody else, but let's go ahead and bring it up. All right?
But real quick, though, I just want to finish this. Man. And with especially with the Sony thing, like I caught some of that. I watched a little bit of the Cordings video on that earlier today. Yeah, especially with the Sony situation, man. You know what? Let these guys eat each other alive, man. Mm-hmm. Anyway, go on. Well, you were about to say something, Atlantean.
I was just going to say something in regards to you saying let them eat each other. Normally, that would be a good idea, but if you let them eat too much of one another, you end up with another EA. So
yeah, this is going to
all right. You're right.
And we don't need two EAs in the build. We already have EA. We already have Activision. We already have Ubisoft. We don't need a fourth fucking monster out there trying to swallow everybody up.
Atlantean, you forgot one more studio. Or you forgot one more publisher that I'm about to talk, right? You forgot another publisher out of that list that I am about to say, and this has come from Destructoid. NBA 2K21's unskippable ads will be fixed in future updates, says 2K Games.
Wait.
All right, hang on, hold on. Let's get here. Earlier this week, we reported on a controversy that had blown up within NBA 2K community after publisher 2K Games have added unskippable commercials and loading screen to the latest entry of the basketball franchise 1 month after launch.
Am I allowed to swear?
Yeah.
Well,
it's not my channel.
Don't I pay $60 fucking dollars for this video game?
No. Ords, hang on. Let's bring this up. Yeah, especially if it's on PS5. Okay, so the commercials for Oculus Quest 2 appears during pre-game loading screens as part of NBA 2K21's 2K TV segment. Fans took to Reddit and social media to express their disdain at being forced to sit through product ads as in a title that they had paid upwards to $70 for, and that's if you're getting the PS5 version, and that goes double for that. 2K Games have released a statement on Twitter where the publisher acknowledged that the offering videos impacted our players' experience in a way that we didn't intend, as these ads are not meant to run as part of pre-game introduction. 2K Games stated that this will be fixed in further future episodes.
Okay,
no, we just got to make it more real. Hold on a second.
Ords, hang on. I'll let y'all see. Let me read this article here. Note that fixed does not necessarily mean removed. As such, players will have to see how the ads are implemented going forward. Last year's franchise entry, NBA 2K20, became notorious for an example of aggressive monetization, advertising, and gambling within the AAA industry. NBA 2K21 has already gotten off to a poor start, and heads became turning around, said the reputation, and the ball ultimately lies in the publisher court. And this is a statement from 2K21. As many are aware, in recent years, our ads have been integrated into 2K TV segments. Yesterday's 2K TV ad placement impacted our players' experience in a way that we didn't intend, as these ads are not meant as rather part of the pregame introduction. This will be fixed in future episodes. Thank you for your continued feedback.
Can I
okay, and one second.
Why?
Now, okay, begin.
I just had a real quick question when you were talking. Did they? It was mostly about the article you were reading. Did they say TV ad segments?
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck?
In game.
Wait, no, hold on.
In game.
What does it mean by what are they talking about? Like TV ad segments?
They're placing unskippable ads in loading screens.
Like this. Are you feeling a rumbling downstairs? Then buy our product for your diarrhea.
I know what an ad is, Ords. I was wondering what they meant by
they're putting it
ad segment, like
the boys. All right, Atlantean.
They had ad for the boys season 2
in the game.
Okay. I was asking because for a minute I thought that they were doing that for some reason. By the sounds of it, like the game had a mode where you can pretend you're watching TV, and then it runs ads when you're watching the TV. Okay.
No, here's the thing. Here's the thing, Atlantean. 2K has been getting as much as we talk about EA. And, Activision Take-Two and stuff from microtransaction. 2K games is one of the biggest culprits in that because
I know
the biggest complaints we had was that
did they not learn anything from EA? Did they not learn anything from EA? Are you kidding me?
No.
Okay, Ords. Let's bring. What was the thing that we brought up last week, Culture? That you saw ads for FIFA Ultimate Team in like toy stores and in magazines in EA
marketed to kids. Targeting kids.
Yeah. And this kind of stuff makes me crazy. Well, I mean, obviously, because your marketing is now an uncontrolled. It's uncontrolled, so the parents can't control what their children are being marketed to in a video game now. What's being marketed to their kids in a video game. That's problem number one. Problem number two is the very thing that Ords was saying. I paid for this game. I paid for the full use of this game. And you adding ads into this game after I've paid for full use of this game is garbage. Not to mention the fact that when it comes to these particular games, now that we're going to talk about sporting games, all you're getting every year is a roster update. There's very little in the way of actual progression or update in art, in animation, etc. that's done to these things, despite what they tell you.
You're just getting the same game, but now there's new names on top of the character models. You're not even getting
right.
It's like
roster updates being generous.
Well, and the other. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Ords.
I was just saying, and I'm referencing your video from earlier today, Culture, the one where you talked about Quibi, and you're like, $4.99 for ads. Why would I pay anything for ads? The idea to pay was to get rid of the ads. This is a totally. I mean, this is worse, really, because at least with Quibi, like they're telling you, you're gonna have ads, but you pay $4.99. This is you're gonna spend $60 on a game, and you're gonna have to sit through. Look, they're video games. I don't want them. I don't want it to be like fucking real life. I wanted to watch TV commercials and shit. I'd watch goddamn TV, man. Like seriously, like.
No, I agree.
There's a reason why I like video games more than I like TV because I don't want to watch TV.
Culture, you don't want ads.
Well, here's the thing, Culture and Ords. And let's not bring up that this is 2K. These guys were the ones that were coming out saying that games have to be $70 or more expensive going into the next generation, and that they're first in line to do that. This is going to be real bad if you get the game for PS5 or Xbox Series X, and that's going to be $70.
To add to that, they also are the ones that they also sent guys like 2 goons to a guy's house because he reported on leaks.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Samato. I remember that.
Screwed over the Borderlands devs of Borderlands 3 and didn't give them the pay bonus that they really deserved, considering how well the game did.
2K sent. Okay, so just a quick sub night. On the upon the building up to release of Borderlands 3, 2K actually sent out goons to a YouTuber's house to investigate them because they were seeing the leaks and such, and they actually got that YouTuber's account terminated.
I'll tell you this right now: unless you ain't got no badge, you show up to my house, you better be prepared, man, because it's coming. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, you better be packing. Look, here's the thing, and I know Atlantean wants to get on this. All I want to say is the following: when I go to a movie theater, I know that at the beginning I'm going to be subjected to the ads for the local real estate agent, for the popcorn, for the soda pop. But when I'm watching the movie, do you know what I'm not expecting during the film? A flipping ad. Because if a commercial shows up in the middle of my thing that isn't like a funny part of the movie itself,
like Grindhouse.
Right. Or like there's like a Pepsi, can that, like crashes across the screen, but it makes some sense in the story or whatever. Because there's always been some ad placement.
Real quick, perfect example.
Perfect
example. Wayne's World, when he's doing the product placement, he's like, "We shall bow to no sponsors." There's ways to do it, but here's the thing.
Another good one was the Applebee's ad in Talladega Nights.
Oh yeah.
Right, but that's my point. But I'm not being inundated with a commercial break, right? So the last thing I want to do when I pay $70 freaking for a video game is to watch any kind of commercial programming. If you want to put like those ads there, but Atlantean has something to say, and I'm going to let him do it because he's been waiting.
1 second before that, Kai said he has to head out, so I'm going to let him plug his.
He's a liar.
Channel. And then Lanny can go ahead.
You have to let Atlantean speak, or I'm gonna come to each of your houses and we're gonna have words.
I have beer.
I gotta go because I'm doing a Latino slant reading of what's it called, Return of the Living Dead, or at 4. So we're gonna do a rehearsal real quick. But yeah, catch me on Latino Slant doing that shortly, and then after that at 5, I'm gonna be on the Weekly Rumble with Chris Knight. And then Sunday, I do my trivia game show. And this week, I'm going to be in costume and in character. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
In character?
Come by my channel this Sunday.
So covered in blood, surrounded by corpses.
That's what I was working on over here.
Exactly.
But let's be honest, guys. Don't do any of that. Just buy the book, okay? Just buy the book.
Yeah. And
just buy the book.
I know it's endless entertainment. Actually, it ends. But you can keep reading it again and again.
Look.
And I've done it twice now. So
Hey, Kai, don't you know you're supposed to write sequels to these?
He comes with a free
book.
book.
I got more to write. I know. They're coming.
Oh my God, man!
I love how Kai. I love how you said you're going to be in character. Aren't you always in character?
I'm going to be in character in the costume that I'm in. I'm going to be
okay. So,
but yeah, I am very WYSIWYG. I'm always in characters. It's always the character is me. All right, y'all.
All right, well, have fun, Broomhead. See you later.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah, have fun.
On the slant.
His channel is in the description.
Peace out, y'all.
So yeah.
Why isn't Runner here? I want to abuse him.
He's coming. He's coming. Hopefully, he didn't run his car into something. But let Atlantean talk down.
Yeah, Atlantean. Let's go.
Stargate Atlantean.
I'm gonna mute.
Oh God, what was I gonna say? What were we talking about before everybody? I'm sorry, I lose track of what I'm
fucking stupid commercials in these damn video games.
Yes, no,
yeah.
I was originally I was gonna talk about that, but no. Dude, how do you say your name? Is it McKinney or Machinai? How do you say that?
It's Machini.
Machini. Okay, because
or just say Maki for short if you want to call me that.
Yeah, well, I don't really interact with you, so I'm looking at this. I'm like, how the hell? Like to me, it sounds like McKinney.
dude, can you?
I don't want to look like an asshole. I mean, I already look like an asshole, so I don't want to make it worse.
I don't know. Them glasses are pretty hot. I'm not gonna lie.
These glasses are amazing. I have like 3 different pairs right now. Technically, I have 4. I do not know where the cheap purple ones went.
I kind of feel like Prince is gonna pop out of the back, and you guys are gonna do like Raspberry Beret or something.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Time for you.
Anyway.
Hell,
okay, you were saying Atlantean.
Well, I was originally because Mark and I said something about the cost of games going up, and I was about to say that's bullshit in and of itself.
No,
because
it is.
Because he said 2K brought it up. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. The same assholes that want to have microtransactions and everything. Microtransactions in games. They want to have stupid little retarded loop. I bought a 2K game before. It was the dumbest thing I've ever done. No, I lied. It wasn't the dumbest thing. I bought what I bought was a used copy of WWE 2K16, and that was because you could play through Stone Cold Story. And
yeah, that's the one with CM Punk on the cover, right?
No, 2K16 was Stone Cold, not CM Punk's version. But I played. I bought that one used. I played through that one. I liked that one a lot because there wasn't a lot of microtransaction or anything like that. And I was like, okay, you know what? I'll buy the next one. I went out and bought I don't remember which one it came out, but I bought the deluxe version of the newest one at the time. And it's like, okay, one, it plays like crap. Two, it doesn't have, everything that 2K16 had. And three, you can't do anything without needing to buy fucking credits to unlock things or earn credits. Like everything you can do, like create a wrestler or create an arena, you have to aside from one or two options you have in every in like the limited number of categories, everything else was locked. So it's like these people are known for their microtransactions, their loot box bullshit, and they've just been doubling down every single freaking every year basically. That's how often they release sports games.
I feel like
but it's like
2K is one of those companies that have a lot of garbage, but some good stuff sprinkled in between. Now, I think 2K was the one that did. You were able to play as like the '92 Blackhawks in one of their NHL games, which I loved. I love the idea behind that. And I think it even gave you an option to play a classic version of the game. Like those are cool little features. That's fine. But if 2K does the complete opposite of what EA is doing currently, I think 2K would take over the whole sports franchise. Because let's be honest, I personally think EA kind of like leads the sports genres.
They've owned the licenses to sports.
Right.
To sports games since fucking I don't know, the inception of the Genesis, the Madden
era? No, Atlantean, I'm gonna have to correct you on that. No, if you're specifically talking about Madden, EA has been holding rights to the NFL license since NFL 2K5, and that was in 2004.
Okay, I don't know. I know EA had licenses for sports games before that. I just wasn't. I was throwing out Madden because I don't play these games, so I don't know.
Right. You're talking the generalized sports on like the Genesis,
the generalized,
which EA did dominate.
I'm going to say around that era. I really didn't play them. I've never played sports games. I mean,
I don't think it's silly to associate Madden with that because EA was so dominant in the sports genre back in the 90s.
I say
early 2000s.
Yeah, the few sports games I played and indulged in, and the ones that I still do,
NFL is football, American football.
What about it?
Yeah, Time Profit. No. Time Profit's question because he asked me.
NFL.
It's American football. Time Profit.
Yeah, it's not soccer. Time Profit. It's God Almighty.
Yeah, but just
trying to explain American football to somebody who knows football as soccer. It's a bit weird.
Just to get us back on track, though, with 2K21, with the whole thing, 2K pretty much owns, has a monopoly on basketball games. They're the only ones making basketball games.
Especially since, especially with NBA, especially with EA's, NBA Live series, they just falling off so far off the wayside.
NBA is pretty much the only one making football games.
Right, NBA. Yeah, you're right, Mando.
I don't know about you guys, but I have a personal grudge against 2K. I hate them.
That's fair.
EA and anything else. They're as I mentioned earlier, they sent goons to a guy's house. They've been putting unskippable ads in their basketball games since 2019. So what bothers me isn't that this is like, this is new news. This is like such a bad thing. Like, no, it bothers me that it's still here.
It's, you know what, and you could partially think that, and I don't want to place blame on anything, but keep in mind that 2K Games, they own Rockstar. Rockstar owns GTA 5. GTA Online, the most successful online game out there now.
That's a good point, man.
They keep racking in billions each year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to say eventually it's going to go away, but look at WoW. I mean, it's look at Diablo 2 coming out.
But the thing is, what Angelus and what Atlantean is saying, but with Mando and Atlantean saying, it's a never-ending cycle because as much as we complain with the sports titles, people still buy them every year.
No, I'm not just blaming the sports titles alone. I'm blaming
I know.
that buy the titles as well. I'm going to straight up call them idiots because they keep buying it and don't see the problem.
They don't see the problem, and the thing is, we don't trust. You should at this point, you shouldn't trust 2K when they pull this crap, and you shouldn't trust EA when they get caught pulling this crap over and over again.
You shouldn't trust any of these companies. The whole AAA gaming, as they call it, is a bunch of scummy corporations that just don't. All they care about is money and trying to nickel and dime you. That's why I praise whenever we get a new indie studio what was that, Star Wars Industries I was mentioning earlier, and when CD Projekt Red actually does something good, which is often, thankfully,
Mm-hmm. That's why indie games is blowing up.
Guys, if anything, this is you look at this as if you're going into next gen, proceed with caution. They are going to nickel and dime you every chance of the way, and they're gonna and in some ways it's your enjoyment and time as a gamer might be taken away next gen.
I'm kind of
especially with companies like Sony and how they're going into next gen and how they're treating everything. You can say we can bring up the whole Microsoft being consumer friendly and such, but even then you still have to take it with a grain of salt.
Here's just a side note, and we were talking about the price of the games going up to $70, right?
Yes.
I guess it's hard for me to believe a justification on that. There's a lot of different reasons, but
I'm the same boat.
From a consumer standpoint, from just like a regular, normie out looking at a video game to buy, whatever the case may be. I can go to, let's say a game comes out, right? We use Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 as an example. I bought it digitally. It was ready to go the day it came out. Cool. I'm fine with that, even though I do prefer physical. Well, I was at the store and I saw the price. I think it was a Walmart, and it was $10 cheaper at Walmart than it was to buy it on the PlayStation Network or buy it at any other store. So tell me where the justification is in that. You want to raise the price of games, but yet you can work out a deal with a retailer that sells the game for $10 cheaper, but on the back end, you're trying to charge me $10 more. Tell me how that makes any sense from a consumer standpoint, just a normie standpoint. As a consumer looking at that, I would question that.
The thing is, it's the Tony Hawk remake. That's Activision. They created a true to faithful remake and not screw you over in the process. That's a surprise.
That's why I spent the $40 on it, because it's great. Yeah. Oh, and they just added private custom matches now. I think they offered that update for free. So that's good. But I'm just using that as a point. Why is it you can work out some retailers where the game's cheaper, but then on the back end you want to charge other people who buy it from where they prefer to buy it from? And not to mention, you're charging me $10 more than what Walmart's charging for it, and I don't even have a physical copy.
Yeah. I never understood why the prices never changed with digital.
I never understood it either.
There's nothing to produce. You're just downloading.
No. Here's the thing: they want the money. Now, if they'll probably try to say the excuse carbon footprint. We're trying to reduce. The money. It costs less money to manufacture the this, that. Okay, cool. Well, if that's the case, then encourage people by making those digital prices lower. If you're trying to reduce the overhead cost of actually printing and making physical copies, then give people more of an incentive, not just, it's the same price. And here's the thing, man. Let's say they shut down PlayStation Network. Where the hell are my games going that I downloaded?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You guys get my point.
And especially considering when you look at the roster for next gen's lineup, there's just nothing there that's enough quality. There's enough of a quality to warrant getting another console at this time.
They're guys, but we have ray tracing.
That's not enough of a selling point.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
No matter how good it looks, it's not enough of a selling point.
No, fuck off.
Yeah, with Culture, like Culture was saying, he's like, the machine I got on the way, what do you even need a console for? I mean, you could have ray tracing with your PC years ago.
Here's the thing.
I can run Star Citizen right now, and I have 7 windows open, 4 of which have over 15 tabs.
And here's the thing. To add on what Ords was saying, you look at 2K is not only being the front line and of trying to, trying to push this narrative that games have to be much more expensive going to next gen. But let's also think about this. There's a handful of studios. There's a lot of studios and companies nowadays that are willing to offer free upgrades to existing games that's going to be next gen. 2K is not one of them.
Also, I'm going to answer a Time Prophet comment here. He says, why don't they release a game for $30 with the ads and $70 with $30 with ads and $70 without ads?
It's not a bad idea.
No. If you're paying money, no fucking ads. No,
well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. If they make it, I feel like they kind of did this without being transparent about it. Like now knowing that there's ads in there, like I'm not going to spend any money on any of that stuff because I don't support the shit. Now, if they put it up front, like, hey, yeah, you're going to get it cheaper, but it's going to cost you $30 and you just got to deal with some ads. Okay, well, as from a consumer standpoint, if I have options, then I can make those decisions. Me personally, I'd spend maybe not 70, but if let's just say it's 60, I'd spend the $60 and get it ad free. Okay, I was going to spend $60 on the game anyway, right?
Yep.
I think that's a good option. But I also get maybe where you're coming from is that, like, let's just not have it at all. What's the point? There's no point to this. Nobody wants this, period. Whether you charge people less for it, I'm with you. Nobody wants this crap. But at least if they're going to try to force this on people, you have an option. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and the thing is, to kind of add on to what you're saying is that, and especially what the Mando is saying, is that when you take next gen serious, you have to also kind of have that same kind of mentality and mindset when you look at free to play games, because with games like with Genshin Impact, breaking through and becoming a big hit, and that's coming from a studio who's built their success on mobile games. So coming in with building a full-fledged console game and making it free to play, it's something that you have to kind of take with a grain of salt, because as what we see with the mobile title, a lot of times a lot of companies don't handle their microtransactions, their monetization as well, and customers get angry because of it.
Yeah, just real quick.
You have to go be careful. You guys have to be very careful going into next gen, and especially going into any free to play stuff. Any game is going into this gen. You have to research
something that like Microsoft does. They have the free to play weekends. I think where it is like certain games are free to play for the weekend. Now something like that. Okay, throw a couple ads in there, whatever. It's not going to hurt me because I'm trying out a game for free, and it only lasts for so long. Like I think that's maybe where I think if you have to have these commercials, I think that is the best not only for consumers, but for these companies who are investing money in these, because they're seeing something fresh and new. They're trying a new game. It's free to play, so maybe they're more likely to be okay with the situation. But if you are straight up spending full price on a video game, no, they want to charge you $10 more for it. Hold on a sec there. So they want to charge you $10 more for a game, but then throw ads in there. That, to me, is what the despicable thing is about it. Like, whatever, throw whatever ads you want in your free crap, whatever, that's fine. I'm a person who likes to game, so I will invest money into the good things that are in that community, in the gaming community. I will invest money into the things that I'm going to get that money back out of, or that enjoyment, that worth out of it. And so just stick to the free crap. It's worked so long. It works so far for most people. I mean, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm wrong.
I'm against having ads.
I don't think you're wrong, really, per se, Ords.
If you're paying for a game, it should not have ads. If you're paying for a game, it should not have microtransactions.
I get that. Yes, I was about to say.
Get that.
If you're paying a full $60 game.
Well, let me ask you this.
Even a $40 game. No, if you're paying money up front, that's it. You shouldn't have to pay in order to continue to play this thing. You own it. That's the whole point.
Mando, let me ask you this. Mando, just real quick. How's your feelings on cosmetics only?
Still not cool.
I got you. Okay. No, that's cool. Hey, I respect it, man.
No.
Okay, so here's my
here's why though.
Go ahead.
Cosmetics only is an excuse to me because it's like, oh well, it's not game altering, except it is because some people play like, oh, I want to like, for instance, Halo Reach. I used to remember I would play for hours trying to get the classic, Halo like the Mark V helmet. Yeah. And you're playing for hours just to get that helmet, like. Cosmetics are part of like, okay, you want to get this certain look, you want to make your character look a certain way, but now you're walking it behind a paywall. That affects the game. So the whole gameplay is a load of shit.
Before we get to what Atlantean's saying, I'm just want to add on to what Mando's saying. Yeah, I'm kind of in that same spot where I was fine with cosmetics at first. But more and more we look at the current trends and such going on, especially with different events such as like, For Honor, Apex Legends, everything's doing the Halloween events and such. It's just
For Honor's doing
at some point. They've been doing Halloween things for years. But nowadays, with all the games are doing, Halloween events, you see it all the time in trailers. I've been taking close eye and such. When I look at cosmetics only, I'm kind of in that same boat with Mando, is that it's just becoming more of an excuse.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying like, nigga free. I understand. I get that. I totally get that. The developers, they got to make money somehow. They got to make money about this so they can keep updating. I get that, but you got to read the room. You got to read the room. You got to understand. There's got to be a balance here.
Everyone says they have to make money, yet all the games like God of War, Spider-Man, PS4, Ghost
they
are these games that are just a finished product on release, good quality, fun to play, looks good, yet
Mando,
they sell they outsell everything. They make a lot of money to the point where the publisher, like Sony, bought Insomniac, which I thought was huge when that happened, and then Microsoft outdid them with purchasing ZeniMax. But they and they're making a bunch of money. Like for instance, look, yes, in the sake of Spider-Man PS4, they had the $20 per DLC, and they had 3 of them. So they had $60 worth of DLC, and they had the $60 game. But if you were to get just the Game of the Year edition, which came out a year later, you get $60 and you get all of it. Like, and they're still making money. People are still buying the game, and now they're going to be selling a remaster that's pretty much like screw you to the people that have the original game. But that's a different topic for maybe.
Now, Mando, you missed one important factor of those games you mentioned. They were all single player.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, in single player space, that monetization thing, that's inexcusable. That's like the word of law right there.
That I can absolutely agree with.
You don't put that monetization, you don't put that marketing stuff in a single player focused title.
I can get behind that.
Devil May Cry 5. Which was bullshit. But let's.
But go ahead, Angelus. Go ahead.
So Culture shared this, and it says the real truth is streamers should be paying the developers and publishers of the game they stream. They should be buying a license like any real business and paying for content they use, which is fucking bullshit.
I call bologna sausage on that. On every single single facet.
What the fuck is this asshole?
Oh, this is the guy that brought you Google Stadia, kids. In fact,
no wonder. This guy. Google Stadia. Fuck Alex, whatever the hell his name is.
I don't need some.
Oh yeah, Doc.
Hey
Doc,
Alex.
this-
Hey Alex. Just because you're gonna get Cyberpunk 2077 on Stadia doesn't mean you're gonna get a large player base behind it. I'm
You
just
said
saying.
Cyberpunk.
Hey, yo,
Cyberpunk.
Alex, how's that Stadia
Cyberpunk.
doing there, buddy? How's that Stadia selling there, buddy? Yeah, real.
I'm just
real
saying,
good.
bro.
It's funny because there's a guy that I work with that's like, yeah, streaming games is like the best. But I'm like, dude, you realize nobody has the internet to like. Not everybody has the internet to actually.
You
make
understand that no matter how despite the current time we're in, that kind of technology is not ready yet.
Yeah, nowhere near ready.
Dude,
No.
but look at this. Look at the dude's getting so much love. So Quartering did a video on it. And I mean it goes crazy, right? But then let me back up because our buddies are involved in this. So here we go. We got 6% Ruin saying someone is super jealous people make money and his pet project Google Stadia is a massive pile of dung no one wants. Cry more, Snake. Won't make
Call it like
Stadia
it
work
is,
at all.
man. Call it like it is.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean this
just
thing is fire. It's fire. Ryan's
What
in
does that
here.
say?
Like everybody's in here. Which one?
Oh,
Yeah,
he
let's
totally
see.
deserves it.
Uh,
I might be sounding very cold right now, but I mean, he totally deserves it.
Yeah, XQC.
You're essentially being
Oh
like,
shit!
okay,
It doesn't help.
let's make our customers, the people that give us money, and let's try to take more money out of them.
Yes.
They can continue
But
to
that's-
use our product,
This is
but
BS.
then in a way that makes them not want to use our product anymore. Brilliant.
Okay, Mando. Here's the thing, and this kind of goes into the whole, copyright such that we see on YouTube and such, is that you do understand that, when the streamers are playing a game, we're basically free promotion
We're
for you.
promoting.
Exactly.
We're basically a
Shit, they're
commercial.
like, man, yeah, exactly. And they fucking
Thank
go
you.
buy it.
No, that's exactly what it is.
And
If
it's the
you're
same.
playing-
And it's the same thing you see. And it's the same thing that you see with, it's the same thing. It's the same argument we have with in regards to YouTube's copyright system and such and stuff. Your claim is like, you do understand that we do. I get that you want to claim your stuff and such like that, but you also understand that why do you need to block it? We're basically promoting you guys. We're basically
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
dude, I'm loving this because look at all the people taking him to task. Every defense he uses is getting like smashed.
Yeah,
So,
I mean,
yeah,
he's getting
what-
ratio.
what this-
He is-
what-
Seriously.
What this looks like to me.
No, so look, this might be.
Hey, Angelus, what's up, Angelus? What's up, Angelus?
Real quick, Atlantean had to dip. So
Oh shit.
Oh yeah,
his,
take care, Atlantean. Sorry,
its links and everything are in the description. So if you want to
Cool.
subs
check
Atlantean.
him out, go ahead and do that. I can go back on topic here.
But let's get back to this buffoonery we got going on here.
So as I was saying, this might be an apt analogy, but it's just essentially like, okay, I made a thing of art, you bought it from me, so you're like, say I made you a logo, you bought, you paid me for it, now your logo, and then I decided to go, you know what, every time you use the logo, you have to pay me, even though I sold it to you, like it was a like that's what the equivalent to.
Well, it's like the tattoo. It's like every time somebody sees your tattoo in public, you've got to pay the artist. Yeah,
Well,
this guy's a maroon tune.
Yeah, let's not bring up the situation that we talked about last week concerning WWE 2K and Randy Orton's tattoos. It's
Now,
Especially, hold on, let me continue though. This is what Disney's been doing with Star Wars for the last few years. I know I don't talk about Star Wars a lot because of my opinions about it now, but one of the reasons for that is because of what they've done over the past few years, where it's like, you make a fan film, they sue your ass, they steal your content, it's theirs, they make money off of it, and you get screwed.
Notice the only support he's getting is from the blue check mark douche canoes. This dude is an analyst for the Broncos.
Mando,
I mean,
how is it that you bring up Star Wars and you're completely forgetting CBS with Star Trek?
Yeah.
So what this seems like to me is that this guy is essentially trying to weed out the people who would be critical of his games, his system, whatever, And he would be trying to silence those people because at this point the only people who will be able to afford to do this are big time YouTubers or people that they give the game to get good reviews. These shills who get their you're right, they get their free copies to put out great reviews. That's what it seems like to me. Is this guy would want to then silence the people like us who wouldn't be able to afford these copyrights or whatever to play these games, even though we already spent the $60 to purchase the game, which was the legal transaction there. And Culture, maybe you can add on to this. The purchase was me purchasing that game after you've manufactured it. That's there and done with. What I do with that game is my business. If I want to piss on it, if I want to put it in an Xbox and it's a PC game, I have every goddamn right to do that. Yeah. And he can't say shit about it.
Let's bring this up. Well, I would ask you this. I'm gonna save this thing in analogy. When you download a font to use from any of the font sites, you know what they have? So most of them are free for personal use. That means you cannot redistribute them. The only time that you can be able to use it to redistribute is for selling your own product if you're actually buying a license to use that font.
Which is why I had to create my own font for Casting Shadows, because I was using an actual font and I didn't want to. It wasn't it was a placeholder font. I'm like, okay, this is a cool font, but I can't actually, if I want to sell products, I can't use this. I know that. I'm not an idiot. And I don't want to either. I wanted to make something unique, something that's mine. And whereas here, this is kind of and again, another analogy for this would be, okay, you bought a font, right? You bought it, you now own it. But now every time you use it, you have to pay us. Or whoever else, whoever you bought it from. That's
and here, yeah, no, you're right. You're coming from exactly the right place, Mando. I almost called you your channel name, dude. Sorry.
I don't care. But yeah, Runner's driving, so there's that. Yes, time travel.
Yeah, Runner's here.
Runner's here? Shit.
Okay, now to be fair, this isn't nothing new because we've seen this from Ubisoft. I know Ubisoft got a bit of a hoopla over this. YouTube streaming games, and I know that's what you're sharing. What I saw with one of the replies is that
that was part of their terms of service. Ubisoft was saying every time they were working on a new terms of service where it's every time you play a Ubisoft game, they own the video. Say you make a Assassin's Creed video, right? Where it's just you doing a compilation of really cool kills and stealth, full stealth.
They own the They basically own the video.
They own the video. Yeah, it's no, that's not how this works.
Well, and not only that, and here's the thing. I mean, the fonts are kind of a superficial thing to bring up because it's really hard to identify when you use a font, if you didn't pay for it or you acquired it through a paid source or whatever. That one's harder to do. But here's where this is really important. And this is brought up by somebody who was responding to this creative director for Stadia. He says, to further illustrate how antiquated this take is, here is a publicly posted policies on monetized streaming for the games you worked on. Can I stream your games on Twitch or YouTube? And the answer from Ubisoft is, you are free to monetize your videos via the YouTube Partner Program and similar programs on other video sharing sites, unless your videos happen to include copyrighted music that is identified in YouTube's Content ID system or similar technology on any other site. If you upload a video, you may receive. There you go. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
See, this is why I love Star Citizen so much, and I know I'm probably bringing it up every other freaking minute, but I say this because if I were to take a screenshot in that game, they're fully no, that's yours. You own that. That that screenshot, that's your art now.
Yeah.
And I love that. They're all about community and freedom. They even made made by a community logo for us.
Well, and let's not keep it in fact. Star Citizen. Those are games who would be the kind of elves that if you did something cool and you posted it, they would probably repost it or reshare it as part of a showcase. Yeah, they would do a showcase.
A friend of mine does really good screenshots in 4K with reusing reshade and Photoshop
on social media.
Really pop, and his screenshots get used as thumbnail art by the actual devs, and newsletter posts as well as by other people in the community, and it's really cool. So,
another one
doing it. We love it. They even have screenshot contests and video contests and all sorts of things.
And another one that it reminds me of a game that I love called Drive Club, and it's from a studio that went defunct, sadly. But one thing they did for one of their latest updates during and near the end of their life cycle was they did a complete menu overhaul, and all of the pictures and such that you see in the menus of that game were taken from the users. They brought the best. They took in the all stuff that you see in the loading screen and such. All those pictures, those were users who submitted. Those are the best photos that they handpicked themselves to use in their game.
Yeah, and then another example would be in Halo Reach on the mission. Was it the package? I think it was the package. Yeah. So it's the mission where you go. Spoilers. Not really. It's a 10-year-old game. Where you go to get Cortana. So in Halsey's lab, there's a Easter egg where you actually go into her lab, and there's all sorts of Easter eggs from over the years that bunch in there, and they're at least I would say 75% of them are all community-made stuff, like Red versus Blue and stuff like that.
I think what was it? To kind of counterpoint what this guy was saying, and that it basically destroys kind of his argument, was like, let's look back at one of the later Call of Duty games. They promoted one of their promotions was a whole compilation of streamers getting excited, and one of them was Dr. Disrespect.
Oh yeah, Doc gets pissed.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
No F's given on that dude.
And hell, let's think about this. Rogue Company, they made a skin based off of him.
Yep.
He's completely partnered with Rogue Company and such.
All right.
Now let me ask you this, Culture. This is a question for Culture here.
Yes, sir.
Do you think that it's going to get so ridiculous, it'll be to the point that, let's say I take a picture of somebody playing a video game and then post it on social media, because there's a screenshot of that video game inside that picture, copyright strike? Is it going to get that ridiculous?
No, I don't even think we're getting that ridiculous now. This is one Maroon Tune brain balloon head that thinks that this is the right way to go. And the thing is any game studio worth their salt is going to, recognize exactly what Makani said, which is that this is a promotional state for their game. I have spent hours watching other people play games that I have already owned. So it didn't cost them sales. And I will play games and get to a point where I super suck. And so I'll go watch somebody's YouTube video or Twitch stream when they're fighting with the thing, right?
Or say you want to get like a special achievement or something. You don't know how to do it. But this guy made a tutorial video or since Star Citizen.
Yeah.
There are locations throughout. And there are tutorial videos to locations. So
if I want to escape from the prison in Star Citizen, I'm going to go to MandoMerc's channel and I'm going to watch his video on escaping from prison. So it's just those are the kinds of things that I watch. But it didn't dissuade me from purchasing the game. Do you know why Ghost of Tsushima was so popular? Because people saw other people play the game. Do you know why T. Louis 2 was a giant dumpster fire? Not just because of the leaks, but because people watched, number one, that the leaks were true on other people's streams, but they also watched other people play the game, and they watched their reaction to the just despicable storytelling and the despicable story that was created by these people.
I watched PewDiePie play T. Louis 2, and I only watched him because he's entertaining, not the fucking
exactly.
game.
No, not the game.
But you know, it
in
goes back to
culture.
the Among Us and Fall Guys. You know, like you guys talked about earlier.
In culture, don't
Yeah.
forget, you know, the despicable acts that, you know, Sony and Naughty Dog did to shut down and
I'll never.
ban,
Yeah, the criticism,
you know,
and then they,
YouTubers.
they DMCA claimed stuff that they had again, in the form of commentary, review, editorial, they have no power. DMCA, if you're utilizing it for any of those things, they're misusing DMCA. Now, if enough people take them to court over that issue, then companies will stop using it as a defense when it comes to that. But all they were trying to do was delay bad publicity. They were using the 14-day window to stall. And then they would wait, and then they would release it on the 13th day, and they would put a new one on a different video. Because everybody was still making the same videos. I mean, it's not like the criticism of the game changed. And even on big channels, the minute they hit a bigger channel, they kind of screwed themselves, because that created the Streisand effect. But that's another thing. But no, it's a good question, Ords, that you asked. I mean, is it possible that could happen? Yeah. Will it happen? Not under current law. There would have to be a great deal of refinement before they would be able to do that. And like I said, the publishers know that the only publisher that handled it poorly, in my opinion, was Telltale Games. Because essentially that's a story game, right? And so if somebody's watching the story, they may be less inclined to play it. Whereas something like Assassin's Creed, even though it is a story game, it's not primary function. It's a game that you're actively invested in. That you can take a different path. Open world games are less likely to be something that you will just watch rather than play. And that's just the way the world is.
Right. And in regards to what Culture was saying, it's making me think of two things. Is that one, and Runner knows, Jeremy of Geeks and Gamers, he's still banned from Twitter just because he posted a meme.
Yep.
Just because he posted a freaking meme about glasses too.
Yeah.
And this is also reminding me that, this kind of mentality that, this guy is having and what Culture is saying is reminding me of, a lot of the developers under the Dirty Devs list, that if you follow YouTuber Sid Alpha, a lot of the people that he puts in the Dirty Devs list, they're well known. They become known for not only screwing gamers over, but trying to use the law and use stuff to silence people that criticize their Steam games.
I think when it comes to the law, a lot of these game companies don't give a shit. And what I mean by that is
I'm gonna get right into that.
We saw them send bullies to a YouTuber's house. I mean, is that legal? I mean,
no. Well, they were private investigators, but
sick goons.
That's in terms of legally, they were private investigators. But no, they were fucking goons. And
right. So my point being is like, do they really give a shit about what the law is, Culture? Do they? No, I mean, like, they have enough money to get themselves out of almost any situation. Am I right?
Except they do. And no, and you're both right. I mean, yeah, you're both right. They do have the money to fight off, legal battles. However, if enough people get involved, and especially if these companies are in California, a lot of these companies are relying on a different type of legal battle, right? They don't want to engage you in a lawsuit outright. They want to take you to mediation to resolve claims. That's what's happening with not Indiegogo, but the other one, the shitty
Kickstarter.
Yeah, that's what's happening with them right now. Because they're obligated to all for mediation. All the person that, like me, would have to do is pay the filing fee for the problem that I have with them, and they're responsible for every other dollar after that, right? So they don't have an interest in that, and their exposure on that, they've just finally figured out, can be enormous. So Rakita Law did some really good videos about that not too long ago. And Viva La Fry, or whatever he called, Viva La Blog, or whatever he calls himself, that guy's awesome too. But anyway, but you're not wrong. They have more money, but it doesn't matter if you are successfully able to bring a case against them. By the way, I get sued all the time. But if you're able to bring a case against them, you're able to have influence over their wallet, because now they've got what you do if as the person bringing the case is advertise the heck out of it, talk about it in every opportunity, make it very uncomfortable for them, because money isn't the only thing that scares these corporations. It's bad press. And the like we were just talking about the commercials in the game thing. That's bad press for 2K bullshit. Those, and I just cursed, guys. It happened. But that's a problem for them. Anyway, I have to step off, you guys. There's no need to promote me. Everybody in the chat, I think I know. Thank you all for your subscriptions. I appreciate you, but I've got to run because I'm headed to my next stream. So,
Culture. Just one more thing I want to say. One more thing I want to say with Culture, in regards to 2K's case. That's a company that, because they have so much clout and so much, money, they don't care.
Well, they do care. They do care. They do care because it will affect their future sales. It's going to affect, and especially they're banking on you going to your PS5 or your new Xbox and buying that game again. Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm. And you're not gonna. And now that if you haven't bought that game and you were holding out until the new platform releases, you're not buying that game, because now you know that they're going to dump ads in a game you just spent $70 on. So F them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Anyway,
I think
I'm going to bounce. You guys are all
right. No.
Bye, Culture.
Where are you going, Culture? What you?
Oh, I'm headed over to This Week in Bologna Sausage over on Justin Proper's channel. So nice. For those of you, when this stream ends, pop on over there. The list of stories we got today is amazing. We've got Lorena Creole over there today. We've got Wes. Well, no, actually, Wes isn't going to make it today. We've got Mad Mardigan. Well, that's not a selling feature. We've got according. Yeah,
that will be. Don't worry, it will be soon enough.
All right. Well, we've got According to Christie. We've got Dean Approved. It looks like we have everything Star Wars. So our buddy Rob will be there, and then I don't know if Will Gentry will be there other than in the chat, but that's a possibility as well. And I imagine that the UK Richard will be there as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun. There's a lot of good stuff on the docket, at least according to the chat that I'm in. And I'm excited. So you guys have a love everybody. You guys know that. I will see you soon. Peace.
All right, take care, Culture.
And
we're gonna wrap up here anyway.
Okay, can I say one more thing?
I guess final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Shut up, runner.
Yeah. In Ords, let's think about what Culture was saying. Look at what's going on. Look at what's going on with Netflix.
Love you, man.
Yeah, I love you too.
Look at what's going on with Netflix.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same crap. I mean, what it all comes down to is you have to speak with your wallet. Even I understand that companies don't like bad press. I get that, but I think some companies they leverage what would be easier for them to deal with, money or bad publicity, and they make their decisions based off this, because it's going to be one or the other, money or publicity. Am I right? I mean,
yeah, you're right and you're wrong. Like, and I'm saying, because it depends. I think it depends on the company itself.
Yeah, it depends.
Because, for instance, EA doesn't seem to give a flying rat's ass.
No, even when EA gets caught, they still don't.
Right, that's what I was saying.
But then you have a company like Blizzard, which at least, look, as much as I hate Blizzard for what the stuff they've done over the last few years, they at least try to pedal back and apologize. And stuff. What can I say? Try in quotation.
I'm sorry, Mando. I'm just thinking about that BS that BS thing with Blitzchung and Jay Allen Barracks.
I will forgive Blizzard when Diablo 4 drops and it's amazing. That's when I will forgive Blizzard.
I'm not forgiving Blizzard. I'm just saying that, my point is, Blizzard might be one that cares more about their reputation over EA as well as getting it. So
yeah, they care more about the publicity than the money.
Horribly, but yes.
I mean, look who owns them, Activision. I mean, the money isn't an issue to these people. It's the publicity for them,
I'm
Jesus
back.
Christ, runner.
I think the
my connection was cutting out. Jesus Christ.
I think
really.
But I think ultimately just kind of put a cap on this. Angelus, that kind of mentality and that kind of mindset that guy is saying, that's not going to work well. That's I would almost say that's kind of a dangerous kind of thing to implement, because you're going to lose a lot of exposure if you're going to try to force streamers to pay for licenses for games that they're playing. Damn, that's a very stupid take.
Did Runner say he'll be back? You should just end the stream before he gets back.
Yeah, he did.
Just end the stream before he gets back.
Does anybody else have any other thoughts? If not, we can.
This question real quick.
Okay.
It was addressed to Makini original, even though he accidentally typed me, but pretty much he was asking if either of us were to draw a character, like how you draw Black Cat the other day, and then share on Twitter, which I don't have Twitter, so I couldn't do anyways. Would you have to pay the original artist? Well, I've made it. No, and here's why.
No, because we drew it. Because I was the one who drew the character.
Exactly. And here's the thing. I can tell you an example. I sell an Iron Man poster.
In regards to that, I've been iffy on trying to put some of my fan art on Teespring just because I'm worried about licensing.
I'm back.
And selling licenses, and that is you have something you have to take on a case by case basis. So, but to answer your question, no.
And not just that. Even if I had to pay the creators, Stan Lee and Jack Kirby are both deceased, unfortunately.
No, we can't. What it's very stupid, and that's a good analogy.
Right now.
And the thing is, that's a good analogy, Mando. And Time Profit, that's a good analogy. This is stupid. No, if you're having to pay for licenses for games that you're streaming, that's stupid. It's really, really idiotic to do.
It's the same. Real quick before we end it, it's the same thing with with the bars. At least I mean, I think it's all across the country. But if you're a bar that shows sports on your TV, you not only do you have to pay for the cable package, you then have to pay more rights to have that play in your bar, because people are going to the bar to watch the game and they want to get that money. So either way, man, even if you go to a bar, the bar still pays for these copyright fees and stuff, just so that even though they pay for the cable bill, man.
That's ridiculous.
That is fucking dumb.
And that is why
that's weird. I don't know about dumb, but that's just weird.
Anyway, I just had to make the point. It is a thing.
That's a good point.
I didn't even know that. Fuck.
It's true, dude. I work at a bar, so it's true.
But Ords, how would that translate to the gaming industry? That wouldn't never work.
I can tell you how.
I mean, I understand what he's trying to say, but like,
I'll tell you this: there's way more people streaming games than there are sports games going on.
Yeah. Well, more people give a shit about games currently because sports kind of suck now.
True.
Yeah. Well, hockey. The
industry has been booming since the lockdown. The industry has been in an all-time high. Ever since the lockdown.
Yeah. Especially in the UK. Especially in the UK. But yeah, like sports. Really, the only good sports right now, at least for me, are hockey and baseball. And hockey, that's it.
That's right, man. No, both sports are great.
All right,
Angelus, let's do this.
So let's bring it home, Angelus.
Yeah.
This is a good stream. This is a good episode.
First, I want to say, Runner, did you have anything to say since you just kind of like popped in and out a bunch of times? And
okay, so what were the topics you guys were talking about?
So we
Blizzard.
Just real quick.
Blizzard and them having a bunch of ex guys make their own company.
So Blizzard, a former StarCraft ex developers starting Frost Giant. We talked about Sony's terms of service for the PS5 in Hong Kong and how it regards to China. We talked about the lawsuit between Ragnarok, Bethesda, and Zenimax.
All right.
we also talked about what Angelus was saying about about that Twitter post, and we're also talking about the unskippable ads in NBA 2K21.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I guess I don't have much to say about those. I wanted to talk a little bit about Ghost of Tsushima Legends because that's what I played over the weekend.
Okay.
And yeah, I freaking.
I mean, you're not gonna talk about it right now, are you?
No,
I'm just fucking with you, bro.
I would say because we're wrapping it up, just keep it brief.
Maybe. Okay, so I have an announcement. So in about like 2 weeks, I will be in the show full time because
nice.
No more running practice for me. So
is it gonna be Stop Studios?
Does that mean no more?
No,
Stationary
Studios.
Runner, does that mean no more car video?
Or
car video?
It depends. If I need to go to the store, then sure, I'll do.
Runner, quiet. Runner, quiet. Angelus is talking.
What the fuck? No, I'm not done talking.
Watch, we're gonna have a gaming launch episode where Runner is driving to GameStop.
You are now.
No, fuck you. I'm still talking, motherfucker.
I muted you. What the hell?
Fuck you.
Anyway, what you were saying, Runner? Anyway, Runner, what were you saying?
Okay, let me talk, Angelus. Right fucking now.
Okay,
go ahead.
If you enjoy Ghost of Tsushima, you will love Legends. It is so much fun. So there's like the story kind of there's like a story to it, and you can have like two people. I want to do something with that with Angelus, and then survival you can have 4 people, and I want to do something with Angelus and Ords about it, and then one other person who has the game, and we could stream it because survival is pretty fun.
Yeah, we've talked about we talked in the past couple of episodes about how good and how people are very hyped for Legends and how good Sucker Punch has been doing this year.
Legends is fun.
Mm-hmm.
It is so good, and oh my god, the music is absolutely fantastic.
Nice. Well, let's go ahead and wrap this up.
But I want to talk about it more when I'm.
I guess since you're already talking, I'll just have you.
Yeah, Runner, go ahead. Let's plug in what you got.
All right, yeah.
What you got for us?
I'm on YouTube. I'm also on Twitter. You can find me over there. I'll be on this show, and as I said, practice ends in like 2 weeks, so I will be full time on this show possibly. So I'm very excited about that.
That is so cool.
As of now, I'm kind of struggling with school, so I got that going on, but or e-learning, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, that's all I pretty much got.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
All right, let's go with the bearded legend.
You make me follow up from that.
Actually, I'll have you go last season.
I'll go after Makini. I'll go after Makini.
Aw, thank you, brother. Anyway, hey everybody, my name is Makini. Hey everybody, my name is Makini90. I'm happy to be on here as always. It's been an absolute great episode in my opinion. You guys can find me on YouTube, where I post art content. I do drawing streams and drawing streams every Wednesday and Sunday at 12:30, and new time lapses every week. I want to give a quick, brief rundown of what's going on my end. So we're continuing the Maki Ween stuff with another cosplay drawing. This one's going to be a character Camilla as a mummy. That I'm going to focus on getting that done by next week. And currently, tomorrow I will be on Mads Mama Bear's celebration stream for 300. For those who didn't catch it yesterday, we did I did a special celebration stream for Mads Mama Bear, where I drew her as the Black Cat, and we will continue that on tomorrow's stream as well. Now on Sunday's stream, I'm thinking of doing a Jason piece. I'm thinking of doing a Jason drawing.
Do it.
Like Voorhees?
Yeah, a female Jason.
No, Jason Kidd, the basketball player. Come on, man.
Yeah, female Jason Voorhees.
Well, it's fucking Halloween soon, so what other? Why would it be?
if it's
would
Halloween.
But yeah.
Like, come on.
why would it be? Why would it be a basketball player?
But yeah, guys. Just
Like Jason
please subscribe. But yeah,
Key.
we are working our way up to 300 subs, and we're at 250. So I'm gonna keep grinding out until we get to 300. So, but yeah, guys, subscribe and keep up with me on Twitter and Instagram for daily art updates and such. And on one more, and I want to plug one more person in here. Please, guys, subscribe and show love to Mad's Mama Bear. She's one of my hosts on the drawing streams on Wednesdays, Sundays, along with Bruce Lombardo. I see you in the chat, brother. We'll have you meet you back up on Sunday. But Mad's Mama Bear, she's one of the sweethearts in the fandom. She does her poetry trees on Sunday. She does the Queen's Council with Lorraine Creel, Christy, Nina, so many other women in the fandom. She's just an all-around great person, supporter. She is the first lady of the Dark Council. She's yeah. So yeah, there you go.
Let's go.
On to my brother.
Words.
What's up, everybody? I'm Ords. How you doing? Anyway, you guys can find me on my channel doing pop culture commentary and news throughout the week, gaming streams on the weekend, sometimes on the week. I'm trying to implement a few different streams throughout the week. I want to do a retro replay where I go through and play games I played when I was a kid on the channel, and just kind of try to relive the nostalgia of that. And then you can find me with AngelousDraven, Culture Casino, Fuel the Hatred, sometimes Trace XL. We got people that rotate in and out.
Script Doctor.
A Script Doctor, yes.
Thank
you,
Runner. What's the game this Sunday?
Well, we're still trying to play Dead Island. I ran into some streaming issues. I'm actually
right.
Tonight I'm thinking about doing a test stream on the channel, playing Overwatch with some friends. So I might be doing that a little bit later. Anyway, so Sunday night hangs in video games is a thing. It's a blast. We got a lot of people that show up. We have a great time. Pretty much Fuel the Hatred yelling at me the whole time.
Shooting at Culture.
Angelus, we've been called the Golden Girls of Gaming, I believe.
Yeah. That's awesome.
It's a blast. And just so everybody knows, man, I just like to harass Runner.
Are Ords? Are you the Betty White? Is that what you're saying?
That's damn Skippy. So I know I give Runner Studios a lot of shit, but he's a good guy, guys. Subscribe to Runner Studios. But I like to keep him on his toes. He's young. I got to teach him how this whole thing works. I
kind of got it beforehand just because I have a bunch of crazy ass friends. But speaking of talking shit, my phone's about to die, and fuck you, Ords.
Yeah.
Also, one more thing. Speaking of young guys, please do yourself.
You're learning,
guys. Just one more plug in, guys. Do yourself a favor. Please sub to the new members of the Fifth Wave in the Fandom Menace, Sam and Nick McCabe. They've been great supporters of us for a long time, and they've started channels on their own. They do reviews and such, but please sub to the McCabe brothers. They are the Fifth Wave. They are the new.
But yeah, no. Anyway, I appreciate Angelus. This is fun. I'm glad I can make it. I know I can't make it every week, but I'm going to do my damnedest to do it. I love these streams, and thank you for being a part of Sunday Night Hangs. And stay tuned to the channel, guys. And go subscribe to Makini. Really, go subscribe to him because this dude is going to be a legend one day. So, and you guys don't want to miss out on saying that. Hey, I was there when he was at 300, man. I was there, and he's got 150,000. So subscribe.
Yep. All right. Let's go.
Last but not least, first I want to say, Bruce, about having Deadpool and Cooper. That's oddly specific. But anyway, hey guys, I'm MandoMerc, the busiest man of the Fandom Menace, the gamer of the Fandom Menace. I'm an old school artist, and I'm feebly providing entertainment for all of you. And if you want more serious content like news and analysis and discussion videos, check out my channel Cast in the Shadows for all things escapism, and especially as we're 5 subscribers away from 100, and once we reach 100, I'm going to start live streaming and not just Twitch but on YouTube, which should be a lot better for all of you. And And then obviously I'm going to be playing Cyberpunk, and we'll
November 19th, guys. Get ready for that, because he is going to be streaming big time on that.
Yep.
I'll be playing it as well. So
yeah, and I also just updated my Teespring store, so it actually has more content, including a I want to say a gag shirt, but it's not really a gag. But you'll have to check it out. Links are on the channel. So yeah, that's it.
Alrighty, I want to thank everybody that stopped in. Bruce Lombardo, thanks for stopping in. Time Prophet, Captain Trek. Who else? Nancy V33. The Gilk Man was here.
Hail the Gilk Man.
Who else? Fat Steven Seagal.
Guys, sub to the Gilkman, man. He's one of the
lovely,
he's one of the biggest. Sorry,
girlfriend. Kashi Queen was here as well. Apollo Patriot, thanks for being here as well. And I believe
did he tell you to play Broforce?
One more thing.
For once,
Angelus, one more thing, guys. Please sub to the Gilkman. He's one of the biggest fans in this fandom. He's one of the most genuine people in this fandom. I mean that. I really mean that. He's such a genuine human being.
I agree. I agree. Now, is there anything else before Angelus finishes? Is there anything else, Makini?
I'm sorry.
No, I'm just fucking with you, bro. I'm on one today, man. All right, let's do this.
Yep.
Day 34.
All right, thanks, guys.
Gaming Lounge.
Good night, guys.
Yeah, much appreciated, and have a nice night.